What is the influence of the people who you spend time with? I was thinking, I lived in the Berkeley Hills, Berkeley, California, and studied in a master's program at the University of California. And I was there for living in the Berkeley Hills for 4 years. Lots of friends, music friends. I had neighbors. We had a kind of a commune up in the Berkeley Hills. Had friends from my summer schools at Middlebury College in Vermont. I had friends from my home back in Toledo, Ohio. And, you know, a fair circle of friends with whom I corresponded and shared things with. At a certain point, I made the announcement that I was going to be a monk. I'd finally crossed over to the Gold Mountain Monastery, drove across the Bay Bridge, gone into the Mission District in San Francisco, and met Master Hua. Immediately, when I set foot in Gold Mountain Monastery, I had a voice inside that said, "You're home, you're back, you're safe, go to work." Said that in English. This is in my own mind. I hadn't laid eyes on Master Hua yet, but I had this experience. I went back outside onto the street, came back in again, the same thing happened, and all of the tension came out of my body. It was a very unusual, weird spiritual experience that I didn't have those things happen to me very much. So I paid attention to that. Started coming back regularly on the weekends, started making offerings, and I was a really poor graduate student, penniless, and I would bring food over and things. And I really liked the time that I spent in the monastery on Saturdays, and then I tried a week retreat during Christmas, did a Chan retreat and a Pure Land. And the most important to me was that on Saturday mornings, the first group of monks and nuns, including Dharma Master Heng Chi, who was a nun in charge here for years at Gold Coast, she and the group had translated the Medicine Buddha Repentance, Yao Shi Chan, Medicine Master Repentance Ceremony. And it was an English language ceremony. And it has 3 scrolls, 3 chapters. And every Saturday morning, they would do another section. 1, 2, 3, start over, 1, 2, 3. So every 2 months, you'd get 8. Out of 3, you get 2.5. Right? So I really liked the English language repentance. And I would think about the language of that text during the week when I was back in Berkeley going to school. And I would wait for Saturday, come do the next piece, you know. It was really important to me. And Master Hua, it was such, the way he did things was, if you were new, you didn't talk to him. He would, the thinking behind it was, he knew his impact on people. I was describing the kind of the radiance of his light. And people had to first kind of recognize who he was for themselves, and he was doing the same with you before the words came in. Once you started talking, then left brain or intellectual thought takes over, and there's a different kind, that's when you're, you know. So he wanted a wordless sizing up. Often people came in and wouldn't stay. And so he didn't want to spend time answering random Dharma questions with people who didn't value what he was saying. I found that the first 2 or 3 times I talked to Master Hua, I can't remember a word that I said because it was so much. It was just very powerful experience. So I didn't know what to say. So the words didn't matter. It was the fact that I had had an exchange with this teacher, with a Chinese Buddhist monk. That was a big deal, right? So bit by bit, I decided that I was going to move in. My life in the monastery became much more real to me than my life outside. Inside the monastery, words were fewer but more powerful. They mattered because there was, I guess, the silence surrounding them. I could hear myself speak, and I wanted to say less. I wanted to not just do social process language. Oh, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah. Oh, really? Son of a gun. Yeah. Nice weather we're having. Yeah, you bet. Is everything good? Yeah, not bad. That kind of language just is needless. And you saved a lot of energy that way. And you knew that you didn't have to add that layer of social niceness around your exchanges with other people. Okay, there we go. So that's the kind of thing that I really liked. And the things that I did back in Berkeley, living in my commune, seemed not as important. And a lot of the things I really didn't want to do anymore. The hot tub and the rituals, passing things hand to hand and stuff. Didn't need that anymore. So the idea was, I decided to move in. So I did. I made a vow that I was going to become a monk.
你们皈依之后，要不犯五戒禁，奉行三规严持五戒这五戒是成佛的一个基础。那么在家人是五戒，出家人呢有250条戒，那么比丘尼就有348条戒。这个戒律是很繁的，很多的可是你要真能守戒，什么戒也不犯，那根本戒是一个防卫人的、规范人的一个规矩。你要尽量守规矩，不犯错误，这就是守戒。你就不然你受了戒也不守戒，那还是一个凡夫俗子不能这个佛法僧是公道的，是平等的。你公修公德，婆修婆德，你不修就不得。所以你们各位将军不下马，要各自奔前程，看你们谁先走到这个佛国去，先到极乐世界。那么到了极乐世界因为仗着五戒的功德，然后会着出家修道，往生极乐世界。可是你不要到极乐世界就自己在那儿不管众生了，还要回来度众生。所以要发大菩提心广度一切众生。有的人就是现在我要度众生，你现在连自己还没度好呢。所谓泥菩萨过海，你怎么能度众生？你把自己先度好了，已经就够了。你自己没有度好，你想去度众生这叫舍本逐末，舍近求远。你舍己田而云人田，这是大错而特错。所以大家要努力，不要依赖着师父说我师父又有什么智慧，可是师父有智慧，不能把智慧 分给你一点啊，师父有什么道啊，也要你自己来呀修行，你自己不修行，那就是佛现前也不一定能帮助你。